Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Travel Escapes. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and watching our little webinar series where we've been exploring different destinations and countries and really experiences from all over the world to kind of help give us some inspiration on where we want to travel to next. And you know what, honestly, it's satisfying a little bit of our thirst for travel right now, because I know it's really been building. Definitely been building. I'm Rhonda Swean, the leisure manager at Paul Travel, and joining me as always, the beautiful Julie Bekdash. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Rhonda, and welcome everybody.
So again, thanks to everybody for joining us this morning. As a reminder, all of our webinars are being recorded, just like today. If you've missed any, please take a look at our Paul Travel website. So it's paultravel.com/webinars. We have a really great list of previously recorded webinars. There's some fantastic destinations, so take a peek. You might find some inspiration there. Now, not next week, we're going to do it every couple of weeks, our webinars right now. So September 16th, the Thursday at 4 p.m. We're going to take a little trip to the Caribbean, the island of St. Lucia, with the Tourism Authority from St. Lucia. So that'll be a really great one to kind of get us in the mood for some, sun and beach. So please join in. You may have received our Paul Travel newsletter. It would have the registration there, or you can do it online, but keep a watch. We'll have some more newsletters with registration details on that. So I'm feeling like this morning is a really good day to kind of immerse ourselves in the Netherlands. It's such a great place to travel to, and I know a very popular place if you're doing a little stopover. Maybe you're going on a river cruise and spending a pre or post, or you're just going to visit, and really it's such a fantastic country to explore. I've had an opportunity to visit the city of Amsterdam, and there's something special about that place. I just love it. And I actually did. I was flying to Africa, and we had a long stopover in the Amsterdam airport. So took a bus to Keukenhof, to the beautiful gardens with the tulips and the tulip fields. Oh my God, it's right behind me right now. Fantastic. It was so beautiful. So I'm so excited to kind of share with you today this amazing country, and we have a great guest that I'm going to turn over to Julie to introduce. And just before I do, a reminder to anybody, any questions you have, please put in the Q&A box or the chat. Maybe share with us a favorite place you've been in the Netherlands, and yeah, that'll be great. Julie will make sure all your questions get monitored. Or monitor and get all your questions answered by the end of the presentation. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Julie, have you been? I don't know if you've been. I forgot to ask you.
Yes, actually, I was on a river cruise that ended in Amsterdam, so I got to spend some time there. And it's funny because as soon as we got off the river cruise, we went and spent a couple of extra days in Amsterdam, got to the hotel, and the lady checking us in had the same maiden name as me, which is I'm Dutch. So that was really neat. But got to spend some time around Amsterdam, rode bikes, and it was really wonderful. But I also would love to get out into the countryside and see those tulip fields, see the windmills, and all the green hills. So,
so beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm delighted to have with us today. Again, I know we featured a few of these our ensemble suppliers with you, and this is no exception. So with Ensemble, this is an agency that affiliation that Paul Travel belongs to, and we have these unique, like really specialized local suppliers in almost every country around the world, so that when we're planning trips for our clients, we're finding out, what they love, what their passions are, what they're wanting to do, what wanting to see, just special interests that they have. And then we contact companies like Rene in the Netherlands to put together like a really custom trip. And so I'm happy to have with us Rene Buyink, and he calls himself even a travel matchmaker, which I think is really interesting because that's really what he does. So I'll pass it over to you, Rene, and I know you're going to share a little bit more about yourself, and we're just excited to hear about all the different experiences that you can connect our clients with. So hand it over to you.
Yes, hello, welcome to you all. Thank you so much, Rhonda and Julie. I love to give you a presentation about my beautiful destination, the Netherlands, where I live as well. I live in Amsterdam. I'd like to share my screen and tell you a little bit more about what we can offer for you when you're visiting and to enjoy and immerse into. So that's a typical sign of the Netherlands. Of course, a virtual travel escape to the Netherlands, seeing the windmills. I just want to give a brief introduction of myself. Like Julie already said, I'm the local partner of Pol Travel in the Netherlands. They're friends on the spot to help you and to welcome you, but also to help the Pol Travel advisors to create a fabulous program. My focus is really on tailor-made programs, and I love to share my personal connections, my personal attention to make a stay in the Netherlands really like you feel being one of the locals and seeing the things which maybe if you buy it through another large operator will not give you the same satisfaction. It's really, so this presentation is very much my personal view to give you an insight information about what you can explore besides all the tulips, the wooden shoes, the bikes and everything. So I hope you're ready for some information. I thank you so much for joining me, and that's why I call you my special audience, the Dutchies. Let me start with a little introduction about the Netherlands. We have about 17 million inhabitants, which is called one of the most condensed countries in Europe. About 500 people live here per square meters. So it's a very compact country. So there's a lot of sea, a lot of movement, and it consists of 12 provinces. And of course, we know the Netherlands, but we also know Holland. And it's most of the times it's confusing because Holland, of course, it works maybe better and it has a more appeal. But actually, the official name is the Netherlands because Holland is only the two provinces, North Holland and South Holland. Which is effectively also contributing the most to the economy. It's where the capital Amsterdam is based, where the government in The Hague is based. So it's really, of course, when you're traveling, and like Rhonda and Julie said, what they've seen actually North and South Holland, and that's about it. But there is so much more. So take you off the beaten path, going to the area of Zeeland, which is very it's below sea level, famous for all the beautiful waterways, but also going up to Friesland, where a lot of Canadians have their roots because Frisian farmers, they immigrated to Canada, for example, and other places in the world. So there is a lot more to see. Of course, a lot of the main capitals, like Amsterdam is our capital, where of course it's maybe one of the most famous places, and it's very nice because you can stay in Amsterdam and you can explore the country because a lot of things are within driving distances. For example, The Hague is only 50 minutes away. It's the seat of the government where the royal family is living. Rotterdam is famous as the largest port, but it's also changing into a lot more design, architecture, innovation. Utrecht we call the small Amsterdam, which is right in the center here, which is really where you have all the little canals, and it's very charming. One of my favorites is Maastricht, which is right here in the bottom, close to Belgium and Germany, where it's more where we have Dutch wineries, beautiful castles. It's a complete different dynamic. And of course also Delft, which is famous for its Delft pottery, but we will cover that also in a little bit further. Oh, sorry. And so also, of course, I said we have a Dutch monarchy. The Dutch started actually when Napoleon Bonaparte assigned his brother to be the king, and we still have a king who is descending from the family of Orange, which took over when Napoleon departed. This is our king with his lovely wife from Argentina and the 3 children, which are, I think now 14 till 18 years old. So, of course, also Amsterdam and the Netherlands is very good reachable from, it only takes like 10 hours from Vancouver, direct flight into Amsterdam. Schiphol Airport is only 30 minutes away. So like Rhonda said, you can hop on a train and get to the city center of Amsterdam quite quickly. Or of course we can.
Anybody else have anything?
Oh my gosh, and those little waffles, what are, I don't even know what they're called. They're like those little cookie waffles.
The stroopwafels with that?
That's it. Oh my gosh, those are amazing.
The stroopwafels are indeed very good.
Yeah, very, very tasty. Yeah, there's so many great options for dining. And I don't know if anybody had an opportunity to take in the Van Gogh exhibit in Edmonton at all, but the museum in Amsterdam is fantastic. I know Rene will probably get to the history and a little bit about it, but that is such an amazing spot.
Yeah.
So let me share my video and I hope it works now.
Yay!
Okay.
And the architecture of Amsterdam is from the water side. Amsterdam offers it all, from paddle boats, small electric barges to glass-covered canal boats. But from the Dutchman, you can expect more. Amsterdam has more than 100 kilometers of canals, about 90 islands, and alongside the canals, over 1,000 monumental buildings, like the Anne Frank House, the Maritime Museum and the Skinny Bridge. The 3 main canals are the Herengracht, Prinsengracht and the Keizersgracht. Dodged in the 17th century during the Dutch Golden Age, they form a concentric belt around the city. The canal ring was placed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2010, contributing to Amsterdam's fame as the Venice of the North. The Herengracht is considered to be Amsterdam's main canal. In the 17th century, all the rich merchants and all the important people like governors and mayors wanted to live on this prestigious canal. Still nowadays, this canal is very prestigious as our mayor has his official office here on this canal on number 502. The Keizersgracht was named after the Emperor Maximilian of Austria. With a width of 31 meters, it is the widest canal in the city center. The Prinsengracht is the third and the outer of the 3 main canals in Amsterdam. These 3 canals were part of the city expansions project that began in 1612 and was completed 50 years later. As you know, the Dutchman is all about service and quality, and that is why it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Arno Koningstein, who will show you his beautiful boats.
Hello Dutchies, welcome on board. The Sovereign has a capacity of 50 guests. We have gourmet cooking here on board by our Michelin star chefs, and we have live entertainment. We are now on Salonboot Valentijn. This historic vessel has a capacity of 18 guests for a la carte dinners.
The city really becomes alive when cruising the canals, whether it's in an open sloop, a romantic salon boat or a hop-on hop-off. Incorporate a relaxing cruise during your walking tour. Enjoy a high tea on the water or a progressive dinner, stopping at different restaurants to have the chef cater your food on board of the boat. For special occasions, the Dutchman can arrange a musical serenade on the water, a silent disco, a regatta, or even paddling on the canals. We hope you got a better idea of what Holland and especially the canals have to offer, and that it has inspired you to plan your next stay in Amsterdam. Get in touch and we will arrange a tailor-made program for you to enjoy all the amazing things the Netherlands has to offer. Hope.
So that's a little bit an introduction about the canals of Amsterdam and what you can do and experience and enjoy so many different ways. And of course, like we said, no visit to the Netherlands is complete without admiring all the wonderful art museums, such as the Rijksmuseum, but also the Van Gogh Museum, which has indeed the largest collection of Van Gogh paintings in the world. Of course, there's a lot of art and craft and culture to enjoy, and a lot of things which are well used in the old days are still valid in nowadays. So from the cheese markets to special painting workshops, traditional, but also some historic villages which are still interesting to visit and which are very close to Amsterdam. So I would like to share my little presentation and video also about a beautiful windmill village just 30 minutes north of Amsterdam. And I hope it will work this time right away.
Hi Dutchies, welcome at the Zaanse Schans. It's a unique part of the Netherlands, full of wooden houses, windmills and barns. A residential area in which the 18th and the 19th century are brought to life. This village is world famous and visited by many, but the Dutchman will arrange behind the scenes visits, meet the locals or give you a private workshop. I'm not going to spoil it all for you, I just want to give you a sneak preview of what to expect. Well, we have the unique opportunity now to be inside of one of a private home on the Zaanse Schans with Ingrid, the inhabitant here of this house. So, welcome Ingrid.
Yeah, welcome Dutchies. Yes, I live here at Zaanse Schans in a wooden house from 1734. And I love to live here, but I also love to guide you dressed in a traditional Dutch costume.
So that's what we mean by the Dutchman arranges something very special for you when you visit this beautiful windmill village. Besides all the historic mills and houses, you can also visit some great demonstrations, like how large sails of boats and windmills are made, or big barrels, but also liquor tastings. And some fun workshops. I'm going to give you a closer look of the chocolate workshop, made in traditional way.
At the Cacao Lab you can learn how to make chocolate in a traditional way. This is an interesting hands-on workshop where you discover and taste pure chocolate. So roll up your sleeve and get it going. Grinding the chocolate beans the old-fashioned way, using authentic instruments until you have your own block of chocolate. Unique in Holland is the licorice workshop. Licorice is embedded in the Dutch culture, and nowadays we are the largest producer of this sweet candy. Licorice is made of a wide range of ingredients. Your passionate teachers, Pauline or Sabine, will tell you all about it, and of course teach you how to create your own candy. The fun part of those workshops is that you can take your own creations home, unless you can't resist and eat it all.
Well, hello Dutchies, I hope you enjoyed this inside of you. And if you want to have more information, check out my website, dutchman.travel. And of course, we hope to see you soon here in this beautiful area. Bye-bye.
So now we're back again to the pictures, of course, and also, which is very in fashion, is all the eco tours. Of course, one of the Dutch are one of the leaders in innovation, creating green cities, focus on reducing our carbon footprint and making a greener society. As well, for many companies who are using like solar panels to have their energy, but also windmills, and also the water management is very important. And there are a lot of these projects which you can visit. To me, traveling is not only enjoying, but it's also to inspire you to learn something new and to see innovations and what is happening in other parts of the world in which we can make a difference. So now we're on to some Dutch stories. Of course, like you might know, during the Second World War has a big impact on the Netherlands. And the story of the little girl Anne Frank, who lived with her family for 2 years in hiding behind a bookshelf in a small apartment, hidden for the Germans to be, and they were living there in silence. And she wrote her diary. And of course, this is still one of the museums most visited in Amsterdam, although they they do allow a very limited number of people. So it's very important to get your tickets in advance. As well, some special, of course, the Second World War, we also thank the Canadian troops, because it were those Canadian troops who played a very important role in the liberation of the Netherlands. Of course, Amsterdam is known for its art, like we said, the Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, but also art and the design is, so you see there's a nice mix of art galleries, special museum with modern Dutch art. So there's a lot to offer. And I would like to show you also the painter of Vermeer who lived in Delft, which is a beautiful city to visit.
Hello Dutchies, today we're visiting Delft and its lively and historic center. Besides one of the best universities of Holland, Delft has also played an important part in the Dutch history. Right in front of the new church you will find the city hall built in a Renaissance style. These two historic sites give the market an entirely own character. The City Hall of Delft was built in the 17th century after a design of the Amsterdam architect Hendrik de Keyser. However, the tower is older. It was built around the 1300s. The tower, also known as the Stone, has served a long time as a prison, and nowadays the town hall is still in use as a wedding venue. The story of how the oldest church in Delft was founded takes us right back to the dark days of the early Middle Ages. The old church is considered to be founded in 1246, when Count William II gave this little industrial town of Delft its own charter. The Prinsenhof in Delft was the scene of one of the most important events in the Dutch history, the assassination of King William of Orange. He moved into the St. Agatha cloister in 1572, which was then renamed the Prinsenhof and eventually became the museum Prinsenhof Delft. You will also find out how famous Dutch residents, such as Johannes Vermeer, Michiel van Meereveld, Antoine van Leeuwenhoek and Hugo de Groot, changed the Netherlands and the world with new insight, discoveries and creativity. The world-famous Delftware has a rich and long history which goes back to the early 1600s. The Dutch East India Company ships not only brought back spices from the Far East, but also a large quantity of Chinese porcelain. Royal Delft is the last remaining Delftware factory from the 17th century. Here the world-renowned Royal Delftware is still entirely hand-painted according to centuries of old tradition. Today we're going to meet Quinn, who will show us around.
Hi Dutchies! Welcome to Royal Delft. It is my pleasure to show you the highlights of Royal Delft.
Can you tell us some more what the esteemed guests of the Dutchman can expect when they visit Royal Delft?
Well, Rene, Royal Delft is the last earthenware factory from the 17th century. At Royal Delft Experience, you can discover the complete history and production process. And here, you can feel our painter's passion during a painting demonstration and admire the Delftware Museum collection. And wander through the factory where our craftsmen are producing authentic Delft blue products.
Well, Dutchies, I hope you got a great insider view of what this beautiful and historic city has to offer. And I haven't even shown you the Vermeer Center, where you can learn more about his life, his working methods and his heritage. Get in touch if you want to make a special visit to Delft and visit my website thedutchman.travel for more information.
So that was the beautiful city of Delft and everything we can explore there. Some more stories about Holland include, of course, some lovely food tours. I think food always reflects a lot about what a destination is all about the sailors who went on fishing, but they didn't have any refrigerator in those times. So the Dutch herring, they were caught. They had to put them on salt and have them really ready for to keep them fresh. And so when they get ashore, we were serving these beautiful Dutch herring, which a silty taste, which is a delight to drink with a lovely beer, because we have a strong beer culture as well. Not only the big breweries like Heineken, but also some smaller breweries, some micro breweries. Of course, like Rhonda and Julie referred to our beautiful waffle and the pancakes, which are a delight. We don't eat them, we eat them for breakfast, but you can also eat them for lunch. And it's really a treat. So it really helps you to immerse in the life of the locals, seeing also some charming, beautiful villages, as well as going to Alkmaar, where the cheese market is still held. So there's a lot to see and a lot to explore. So now I just wanted to share a few highlights, upcoming events for next year. In December, we will have the Amsterdam Light Festival, which is a large festival which is happening every year to light up the city of Amsterdam, where about 30 light artists will create beautiful light structures along the canals. And it's a delight to have a lovely cruise going there and to bright up the dark winter months. So it's a great combination with Christmas markets. Of course, we are famous for our flowers and the Keukenhof gardens, which are open from end of March till the mid of May. And in the middle, there's a beautiful flower parade from 20 till 24 of April, where there are about more than 60 carts full of beautiful designed flower constructions, which are passing through the tulip fields area. Music is also an important item for the Netherlands. We have this International North Sea Jazz Festival, which will happen in Rotterdam. And also André Rieu is in Maastricht in the south, and he has a beautiful performance, a grand performance, playing the Wiener waltzes and in an open air square. So something which is quite unique. Of course, next we celebrate our king's birthday. That's why we all dress up in orange. And that on that day, Amsterdam turns into a floating flower market. It's full with people in the streets, music and festivals. People selling all kinds of things, and it's just a full day of fun where the Dutch are really enjoying themselves. Celebrating diversity is one of the major highlights as well for Holland, being who you are during the Pride week in August every year. And one of the major highlights for 2022 will be the Floriade. The Floriade is held every 10 years, and it's a World Horticultural Exposition with international pavilions. So every 10 years we create a new area, and in next year the theme will be growing green cities with a real focus on sustainability, how we can improve environment, what we can do to reduce CO2, and all kind of new innovations with a beautiful botanic garden and something really exciting to look to have a little picture. So I'd love to share a small teaser about the Floriade.
Once in every 10 years, the world unites to taste, smell, feel, and enjoy the power of green together. That's when the International Horticultural Exhibition opens its doors. Once in every 10 years, we experience how green makes us healthier, happier, more energetic. How wonderful it makes our towns and cities. That green is the future. Once in every 10 years, you have the chance to experience it. Floriade Expo 2022.
So now moving on to some more unusual experiences which you can discover when you visit our beautiful country. Of course, there are different ways of transportation and beautiful tours through the tulip fields. visiting small villages, also Madurodam, which is really a place where everything is in a miniature. So for families, it's also a great way to have an interactive visiting cheese farms. What we like to do is really introduce you to the real life. So it's not for the tourists only. We want to bring you in contact with the farmer, with the cheese makers, and to really learn much more about all the beautiful things we offer. And it's all going back to the farm to table philosophy, growing close by, and really, I think always exchanging ideas and meeting people will enrich your experience when you're traveling. The same counts for meeting. Of course, we go to the Keukenhof Gardens, like Julie referred to, which is beautiful, where a lot of people are going. But I will also take you to meet Alan.
So welcome you all. We're here in the middle of all the beautiful tulip fields, as you can see behind me. And of course the Dutchman will arrange a very special visit for you to go behind the scenes, where you meet the local grower of a bulb farm, who will show you all the process of growing and breeding the tulips and all the varieties they offer. Oh, the farm of Alan was founded in 1972, and now it's already the 4th generation which are working with the tulip trade. They have over 75 acres of land where they grow their tulips, and you can visit it from December till the end of April. So here we are in the middle of the fields, and here you will see one of the bulbs who have been now, after a process of 6 weeks in the greenhouse, growing from the bulb to what we can pack and ship off to the stores. After a visit to the greenhouse, Alan can take you on a biking tour through the tulip fields or invite you in an atelier for a flower making workshop. Don't forget to order your tulips, because you can create your own beautiful bouquet with these beautiful royal virgins or the Biggie Brassa, which means a hug from the Dutchman.
So that's to show you that it's, of course, there's so many lovely things to see and visit in the Netherlands, and really immerse in the local life, staying at a beautiful castle in the countryside, Dutch design and architecture, it's all there. So we can create a beautiful program for you. But let me show you my last presentation of a beautiful village, which is about an hour and a half from Amsterdam, and it's like the unspoiled countryside, which is worthwhile to explore.
Hi, so nice you're watching a new review of The Dutchman Speaks. Today we are visiting Giethoorn. Giethoorn is known for its boat-filled waterways, beautiful bike paths, footpaths, and also historic thatchwood houses. It's so peaceful, so different, and has such simple beauty that it hardly seems real. Time to take a closer look, and I would love for you to join me. Giethoorn is often referred to as the Venice of the Netherlands, located at approximately 1.5 hours drive north of Amsterdam. This little village is so dependent on its waterways that many houses can only be reached by boat. The name Giethoorn comes from the first inhabitants' discovery of hundreds of goat horns, geitenhorens, in the marshlands, remnants of the 10th century flood. Here you will find yourself on the edge of a vast series of lakes and canals, ideal for boating, fishing and canoeing. The best way to explore Giethoorn and its myriads of canals is obviously by joining a canal cruise. You can book a canal cruise, hire a small electric boat, or we can of course provide a private cruise as you are used from us. Besides exploring the rural environment and beautiful surroundings, you can also visit one of the great museums. For example, the museum at Oude Maat Oes, where you can see and experience how the typical farmhouse in Giethoorn looked like a century ago.
or the Museum de Oude Haarde, where you can find a wide collection of gemstones and minerals. And if you're interested in old cars, there's a specialized museum here as well. The Histomobile provides a vast collection of cars, motorcycles and carriages. For lunch I recommend the Lindenhof, this 2-star Michelin restaurant of patron cuisinier Martin Kruithof and his wife Marianne, and their team have been high on the rankings of the best restaurants in the Netherlands for years now. They are always looking for new taste sensations and mouth-watering combinations that are also pleasing to the eye. And may I say, they have succeeded with every dish I tasted today. I hope you enjoyed our visit to Giethoorn as much as I did. Get in touch through my website and I look forward to personally welcome you in the Netherlands.
So of course there is a lot more to see and offer, but I hope I have given you a little bit my insight and my own experiences of the things I like to share and like to show to really enjoy the country and your travel as much as possible. So for any further information, please contact your travel advisor of Pol Travel, and together as a team we'll make a beautiful program. And of course, I hope to welcome you soon.
Those videos were fantastic. They were
Yes.
So I stop sharing. Thank you.
Sure, that's great. That was wonderful. I loved all the hands-on experiences that you featured. That was amazing. I'm just seeing.
Yes, I think, well, of course, I like to make a mix as well from, you have to see the highlights and you have to see the things everybody wants to do. But we all, and I think that's also Pol Travel, wants to make your travel so special that when you go back, you have seen some things which others would not have had access to.
Exactly. I loved also when you talked about the progressive dinner on the canal. That would be really neat to do as well. Yeah, in Amsterdam. I think we have some comments and just maybe a couple of questions. You did go over the difference, why it's called Holland and Netherlands, the difference there. And a few people that have been to the Netherlands quite a few times with so that's great. And then just a question right now. I mean, this is always changing and we're recording this, so it could be, depends when you're watching it as what is needed. But right now to enter the Netherlands, can you just go over what's needed, what is required of Canadian for COVID, like a test or vaccination certificate?
Yeah, of course. Well, the situation, it keeps on changing a little bit, but I think, well, the situation in the Netherlands is we have seen an increase in cases and it's now dropping again. Well, we anticipate that the Dutch government will release some more restrictions for COVID. At the moment, the only restriction we have is to wear a face mask at the airport and in public transportation. But there is no, we can go, all the museums are open, the restaurants are open. Of course, a lot is with reduced capacity. And so that makes it, for planning wise, very important to use a travel advisor and to be well prepared. To enter the Netherlands, Canada is on our safe list. So there is only a health declaration form to be filled in. Well, of course, they require that you are vaccinated. Well, if you are, then it makes it much easier to enter the country. If you are not, there are free tests at the airport and you can do, but then they require every 24 hours that you do a test. And these tests are offered free for also foreign visitors. And in general, you have the answer within an hour.
Okay, perfect. And I believe the Netherlands also recognizes the same that we do in Canada, that AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Pfizer, so that won't be a problem. Okay, perfect. Excellent. And then, of course, just the PCR test coming back to Canada. So, but somebody is traveling soon. I'm sure that's something that you can arrange for them to get before they return home. So, good. Excellent. I don't think we have any other questions. Rhonda, did you have any?
No, not at all. That was so lovely. Thank you, Renee. And thank you for your persistence on the videos, because it was definitely so fantastic to really see what you live on a day-to-day basis, and to showcase your beautiful country there. And yeah, no, I just love it. And like you mentioned, all these little